All right, here we go. Assignment 3. This is getting sort of into the actual nitty-gritty of how you actually teach a music lesson. So it's again 2 parts because I love having multiple parts to my assignments. I know you love them too. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to research and teach music education foundations and create, teach, and reflect on a music lesson. Okay, so first of all, what you're going to do, part A, is research and teach music education foundations. So in the 20th century, there have been significant thinkers in the areas of music education. These thinkers have had enormous impact on elementary arts education. So you are going to create a one page summary of the philosophical and pedagogical contributions of one of the following founders. So Orff, Kodai, Suzuki, or Dalcroze. Okay, so you're going to look through, and I'll show you, I have actually found basically almost all of the resources that you need in order to create this one-page summary. I didn't want you to spend a ton of time researching it on your own and going down lots of rabbit holes. So I'll show you some of the stuff that I've given to you. So this is, I want you to do this in APA. So include text, visuals if you use any pictures, in-text citations, and a separate reference page. Do not put this on your one-page document. Okay, this is a separate reference page in APA format. So here's your MHC library guide, and here's your visual formatting. So if you use any pictures, you have to cite them properly. So use adapted APA guidelines on this LibGuide here. Okay, include references for visuals in reference list. And when you're listing text and visuals and references, put them together. Don't have a separate text and a separate visual section. They all go together in alphabetical order in your reference list. Okay, so you're going to create this little one-page summary of one of these philosophers and pedagogical contributors. Then you're going to create a 5-question test using all of Bloom's taxonomy levels. This test should be for a total of 10 marks. So use these levels of Bloom's taxonomy that I have here. So this should not be anything new. So you want a remembering question, you want an analyzing question, you want a creating question. Okay, so then you're going to teach your partner about the founder in a creative and elementary appropriate manner. So for example, don't just give your partner your one-page summary and to read and answer the questions. That's lame, right? So teach them. You do not have to do a formal lesson plan for this section. So you can just scroll down some notes. You don't have to do all the differentiation and transitions and things like that, but don't just give it to your partner to read. Think about how can you actually give them how can you actually help them to understand the philosopher. Okay, and then you're going to actually implement, and you're going to mark the test, and then you will actually upload that to Blackboard to me to see. So basically your assessment of this is going to be the grade of partner on the test. So if your partner did well, if you taught it well and your partner did well, you get a good grade. And then I'll look at the one-page summary, complete and accurate account of philosophy and pedagogy of founder and your APA. So you should, at this point in your career, your APA should not be an issue. Oops. Okay, so that's 10%. Then you're going to create, teach, and reflect on a music lesson. So daily lesson plans in an elementary arts classroom are integral and important as they list outcomes, methodologies, activities, differentiation, and resources. So this is where you are going to create an actual lesson plan. So using the MHC lesson plan template, create a 15-minute music lesson. Okay, this is always the tricky part. You're going to create it relevant to the concepts and skills of your practicum grade. So say you're teaching grade 4 in your practicum, use the outcomes of grade 4. But you're going to plan the lesson to teach your partner at a university pace. So teach it to your partner as a smart person. They're right. Your partner will react as a university student and not as a grade 2 kid. Okay. Your partner, however, will not allow you to end early. So be sure to plan enough. So when they are teaching, make sure that they go the full 15 minutes. If they go 6 minutes, you stand there and stare at them until they come up with something to fill in the other 9 minutes. Okay. So make sure that you plan enough but 15 minutes, as you know, goes fairly quickly. Okay. Any topic from the Alberta Program of Studies is acceptable. I do want you to fill out how do I differentiate for all learners section, as if your partner may have absolutely no background with your concept. So you might be doing something about notes, and maybe your partner really doesn't have a clue about notes. Well, you better be ready to then be able to adapt your lesson and think about it ahead of time. So think about if your partner had absolutely no background with your concept, all the way to your partner having a music degree, so that they can slam out basically everything that you give them. Use this section to be ready for any level of your partner. However, you do not have to fill in the accommodation section. I blanked it out. I put it in gray on your lesson plan template, so you don't have to fill that out. Okay, remember when filling in the lesson plan analysis section, this is a bit of a bane of our existence, that when you are writing that is actually in your lesson plan. So your lesson plan analysis section, make sure that when you're taking it and filling in that section, that what you're filling in is actually coming from your lesson plan. Do not skip any of these sections in your plan. So you should have a higher order question. You should have a movement break. Like, don't skip anything. If it is not written in your lesson plan, you cannot list it here. Okay, so then you're going to teach your lesson to one of your colleagues. Be sure to think about how you can teach this online, right? And practice using the technology if need be. What you don't want to do is spend 5 minutes trying to figure out how to share your screen. Okay, so plan ahead, just like you will when you're teaching. You can't stand in front of your class, your grade 3s, and not have actually gone through how to work the technology, because your grade 3s will be out of control. Okay, then fill in the reflection revision section and state what went well and what would you change for next time. Fill this in after you've taught the lesson. So you're going to teach the lesson, you're going to fill in the reflection revision section, and you have till midnight of that night to hand it in. So again, this is reality. This is, wow, my partner really grasped this stuff quickly, and I didn't have enough activities, and I had to wing it, which is not a good thing. And so next time I would make sure that I'm over planned, that kind of thing. Okay, so lesson plan with all required sections complete, so it's 5%, and then peer evaluation of the lesson, and you're going to receive from the partner and include in lesson plan submission. So you guys can email it to each other and then make sure that it's in the submission to me. And here is a very fancy 2 stars and a wish. So when you are presenter name, whoever your partner is, and then you put down 2 things that they did really well and a wish that maybe, and don't write in here, I wish you had more time, because everybody wishes they had more time. That's sort of those are the parameters of the assignment. Okay, I'm just going to take you to Blackboard. So the description is what I just went through. Lesson plan explained. This is that you've seen it a couple times. Go back and just make sure you understand what all the sections of the lesson plan are asking for. And I know that you're like, oh, we've created so many lesson plans, but we're still seeing things like closure not actually really being a closure. It's got to be now totally linked to your outcomes, and it's got to be a place where you now assess if the students actually learned what you wanted them to learn. So again, just take a look again at that lesson plan explained, so that you are filling in these sections of your lesson plan to the best that you can. This is actually a music exemplar that I created, and I filled it in using all of the things that I want you to. So have a look at that. This is the template, so this is a blank template. And this, I'm actually going to go here, and I'm going to show you what this looks like. Basically, what this is I've given you some really great spots to start your research. If you only use these resources, I'm fine with that. I know this is really a super quick course, and I don't want you to spend a ton of time going down rabbit holes. So if you only use these resources that I've given you, I'm cool with that. This one is excellent. This one is in your is part of your reading. The book is part of your reading. This chapter 4 has all 4 of these guys. So if you want to skip just to yours, you can. If you want to read the whole chapter, so you have a good understanding of all 4 of these music education founders, you're most welcome to. Okay, and again, just kind of cruise through these, get a good sense of who these founders are, and then create that one page. But again, use this so that you don't spend a ton of time going down rabbit holes. Okay, that's it. I think you will really enjoy this, and I think it will really give you some grounding as to how to teach music. And it's not just, let's sing a couple songs. There are definitely concepts and outcomes and skills that you want to be focusing on in a music classroom. All right, there you go.